So, if you're at the helm of a conglomerate, you know you're managing one of the most complex beasts in the business world. The scale is just immense, the diversity is incredible, and the potential for value, well, it's almost limitless. But actually unlocking all that value, that's the real challenge, isn't it? Today, we're going to dig into how you can see what's hidden and really harness the true power of your entire enterprise.
I mean, think about it. Your organization is a whole ecosystem. You've got your hands in so many different industries. You're managing all these distinct brands, each with totally different business models. On paper, this diversity should be your absolute greatest strength. It creates just enormous opportunity. But that brings us to the big paradox. With all that incredible diversity, how much of your strength is just leaking away because of fragmentation? How much potential synergy is just sitting there untapped simply because all the pieces of your empire aren't really connected? You know, the things that are really holding conglomerates back aren't the day-to-day operational fires you're putting out. The real threats, the big ones, are structural. They're systemic, and a lot of the time, they're completely invisible. The best way to think about it is like an iceberg. The stuff you can see, the daily operational hiccups, that's just the tip. The real danger, the massive bulk of the problem that can sink you, lies deep below the surface, in all these hidden complexities that are quietly eating away at your value. So what are we talking about here? Well, it's things like business logic silos that stop anyone from being truly aligned. It's all that distributed knowledge that just gets lost over time. It's the hidden synergies you can't even see, let alone act on. It's all those overlapping transformation agendas burning through cash and that constant leadership churn that just wrecks any long-term strategy. And look, these aren't just abstract ideas for a business school class. They have a very real and very, very high cost. These are the value killers, and they are quietly draining the potential right out of your organization. At the heart of it all is one central problem: misalignment. It is not just a buzzword, I promise. It is the absolute root cause of value leakage. And as you can kind of see here, radiating out from the center, this one single issue creates a cascade of negative impacts that spread across every single one of your business units. First off, you get fragmentation. When all your business units are running on their own processes, their own systems, their own KPIs, well, it's like they're all speaking different languages. It creates friction, massive inefficiency, and makes it nearly impossible to get a clear picture of the whole enterprise. Then you've got these siloed agendas, right? One unit is all in on a digital transformation. Another one's focused on cost cutting. A third is completely overhauling the customer experience. They're all running in parallel, burning through millions of dollars with zero mapping of how they depend on each other. It's just organized chaos. And this one has to be painful. Without a central way to capture and hold on to knowledge, your most valuable asset, your institutional memory, is incredibly vulnerable. When a key leader leaves, decades of critical know-how, the stuff that makes your business work, can literally just walk right out the door with them. Gone. Forever. All of these problems are tangled together, but they're all happening below the surface. And it all leads to this one fundamental question. If you can't actually see the full system, how on earth can you possibly manage it? Okay, so the answer isn't another software tool or setting up a new committee. It's a fundamental shift in how you look at things. It's about developing a completely new way to see your entire organization, not as a messy collection of parts, but as a single, living, breathing system. This new way of thinking is called value system thinking, and what it does is it reframes your conglomerate. You stop seeing it as just a holding company with a portfolio of separate businesses, and you start seeing it as a single, deeply interconnected ecosystem that's all about creating value. It's like putting on a new pair of glasses. When you use this lens, you suddenly see the hidden wiring of your business. You can finally trace a customer's journey across different brands, see how data is actually flowing between your business units, and understand how your people and technology really interact. This is that holistic view that leaders have been missing. So once you can see the system, the next logical step is to build an engine to actually manage it. You need to turn this new perspective into a powerful, practical capability that you can use every day. Building this engine, this unified operating system for transformation, it really rests on three core pillars. You've got to have the right structure to connect everything, the brains to make smart decisions, and the memory to hold on to everything you learn. First up, this structure. Now, let's be clear. We are not talking about another boring org chart here. This is a framework that connects your high-level group strategy directly to what's happening in the business units, and, this is crucial, to the opportunities that exist across those units. It makes sure everyone is finally pulling in the same direction.
Next, you need the brains. This is where things get really smart. It's an AI-driven intelligence layer that sits on top of that structure. It pulls in data from all over the system, process data, people data, financial data, and it turns all of that into optimized decisions and predictive insights. It actually makes change predictable. And finally, and honestly, this might be the most critical piece of the whole puzzle, the memory. This is a centralized knowledge hub. It captures everything, your operating models, your transformation playbooks, all your lessons learned. It preserves that vital institutional knowledge, which means you get leadership continuity and you reduce the risky dependency on just a few key people. So when you combine the structure, the brains, and the memory, you create this incredibly powerful transformation engine. And that engine is designed to do one thing and one thing only: unlock tangible, measurable business value. The whole process becomes systematic. You can channel your big, high-level strategic goals through this engine. It ensures you actually execute with certainty, it drives serious efficiency, and it builds new capabilities. It literally converts abstract strategy into real, enhanced business value on the other side. And the outcomes are so concrete. We're talking about mobilizing programs faster, executing with way more certainty. You're getting significant cost gains while also unlocking brand new cross-business revenue streams. You're enhancing your internal capabilities. It even helps integrate really complex stuff like sustainability and compliance across the board. Let me just put a hard number on this for you. Organizations that use this kind of systematic approach are seeing get this, a 30 to 50% reduction in the time it takes to launch new programs. That is a massive, massive acceleration in your ability to adapt and execute. So by seeing your organization as a single value system and then building the engine to actually manage it, you stop just plugging leaks and you start fundamentally changing how value is created. And that leaves us with one final, very powerful question to think about. What is the true potential of your conglomerate once it's fully unlocked?